Hey guys, welcome back to The Practical Place. My name is Ryan Holguin, and today I wanted to go through a quick video about how to use ChatGPT to organize your meeting notes. Now, as a project manager, I use this a lot. I'm not a very good note taker, I'll be honest with you. I just take quick bullet point notes about what I think is important and then go back and try to figure out what I took notes about. That's typically how I've done things, but with learning ChatGPT or learning different AI prompts, now I don't claim to be an expert, but I have taken anything that I've learned and tried to apply it to my job in a very practical way. So I want to walk through what I use in my job when I take notes, and maybe it's helpful to you. You can adjust it or customize it to your liking or your style or your tone, but I wanted to just give you an idea of what that might look like if you want to use this in your job or in a practical way in whatever situation you're in. So let's get into it. All right, so here I have my meeting notes open from Notion. I use the free version of Notion. That's just what works for me. And the way that I take notes typically is I will put a few preliminary questions that I have. This is a new product launch meeting that I attended. And so I'll have questions before the meeting that I'll put together that I might have. So I have that. Those are my preliminary notes, questions from me. I'll have updates, and then I'll just do a header, and then I'll do like bullet points under that. So typically it's by person. So as you see here, I have engineering, and under that I have something about lab testing here, and then I'll have a note from Peter. Under Peter are notes from him. So whether it be a question that was asked to him about models 3 and 4, and then his answer here, and then I'll come down to Zach when he starts talking, and then Mike, and then Larry when they give their updates. And so that's typically how I'll take notes. I'm not very good at multitasking and listening and taking really detailed notes. I've historically never been a really great note taker anyways. And so I try to do my best at being intentional when I'm in a meeting and listening and being present there. But I also, as a project manager, have to take good notes. I'll typically just write what I think is super important or high level enough for me to remember when I go back and listen. But now using ChatGPT or AI tools like Gemini or whatever, it's really helped me organize my thoughts, because sometimes it'll give me an output that is in a lot better phrasing than I would have thought of. So these are my notes from the meeting, right? As you can see here, not very good notes. There's not really any action items you can pull out. If we go to this Word doc is where I have the AI prompt. I actually have a living doc that I continuously update with different scenario prompts. And so I'll have a meeting minutes prompts, and that's what this one is. Here's what it says. I am a senior level project manager with 20 years of experience and need to organize notes for my team. I will need to summarize the main takeaways with relevant subpoints under. That's just the way I like it organized. Action items and a summarizing paragraph. I like to look at the end and be able to read this summarizing paragraph to say, here's what the meeting was about. And then I put a note about copy editing and proofreading as well. So what I do is you take this prompt here and you customize it to your tone and your liking and your preference, but this is just a general outline. I'm not claiming it's perfect, it's just what works for me. So I copy that prompt, we go over to ChatGPT, I'll paste the prompt, and then I'll do a few line breaks so I can put my notes. So I'm gonna select all, copy, paste, and it did not get the title of the meeting I attended, so I'm gonna get that as well. Paste, enter. All right, so let's go down and see what it did. So new product launch meeting summary. That's a good title, I like it. Questions from the project manager, that's me. So to have it broken down by this topic here, sales strategy meeting. Are you conducting a sales strategy meeting? If so, when can we expect the sales strategy document? Those were my preliminary notes. So it kind of summarized the preliminary notes I took. And now let's get to the actual notes from the meeting. So updates from engineering. There's a note about lab testing. Let's see how I had it organized. Lab testing has been pushed out to an undetermined date. So yeah, pretty much the same thing, just organize it in a different way with a lab testing header. So Peter's updates. Die for the Model 1 is ready to go to the press next week. Plan is production run scheduled. Yeah, I like the way this organized it. Status of Model 5, timeline for 3 and 4. So it kind of went in sequential order here. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. I like that. I don't know if I put it in that way, but I like that. So we get to Zach. There's his update. Let me see here. So there's Mike. Suggest scanning Model 5 using the new scanner. And this is a key part that I really enjoy, is the action items portion. So it'll summarize everything that I put there into action items if it thinks that there are any from this. And I always have to go back through, and this is the important note too, you always have to go back through and reread it. You can't just copy and paste it and expect it's a final product for your notes that you can send out to somebody. You have to read through it and make sure it makes sense. So I have to edit that. But generally speaking, it saves me a lot of time. So let's see, marketing prepared and provided necessary image and loads. So it gives you a date there. Engineering task that they discussed, monitor the progress, ensure these are ready to go next week, proceed with scanning the Model 5. So here's an example of how you need to edit. In the case here, the suggestion was that it might be better on the arm, for example, right? And this is saying this is what you need to do as an action item. Well, it's not necessarily accurate, but I get what you're trying to say. ChatGPT, I might erase that and edit that a little bit, or take it out of the action items section. So our summary, it says, in our last meeting, we discussed several critical updates and action items for the new product launch. Engineering is facing delays, which is true. We need confirmation on the sales strategy document and related documents by June 12th to stay on track. Marketing is also expected to provide necessary images and loads by this deadline. Continuous monitoring and timely execution of these tasks are critical to ensure a smooth product launch. So I like that summary. It makes a lot of sense. It's clear. It's accurate to what the meeting was about from what I recall. And so I like it. So I'll copy and paste that back into Notion. A lot of the times what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll go to Notion, and then I'll go to Notion. I'll go under here and I'll paste it. And so it'll give me the same thing. So what I'll do is I'll compare some of my notes, take 5 or 10 minutes to compare, and then edit it. When I'm done, what I'll do is I'll get rid of all my original notes and I will just keep what they have with the edits that I made. So that is typically how the process of meeting notes for me goes. So guys, that is what it looks like for me to use ChatGPT or an AI tool to summarize and organize my meeting notes. Now, this isn't a silver bullet. This doesn't replace you actually paying attention and trying to take good notes in your meetings. But what this can do is help streamline and optimize your note summary or your meeting minutes in any meetings you're attending. I work 100% remote, so it's pretty imperative that I take great notes and so that I can organize and send out to the team. Wherever you're at, if you're taking meetings as a project manager or an aspiring project manager, or wherever you're at in your professional journey, hopefully this is helpful and practical, more importantly for you. Thank you for coming and watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment on ways that you use ChatGPT or any AI tool to help streamline and optimize your process and workflows in a practical way. Leave them in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, thank you for joining us at The Practical Place.